Have you ever had one of those days where everything feels loud and fast and chaotic? And before you know it, your fibromyalgia is screaming, your brain shuts down, and you're right back in that overwhelm spiral. I know that feeling far too well. And if that's you, this video will help you finally understand why overwhelm hits so hard with fibro. And I'll show you the exact steps I use to break the cycle before it turns into a full crash. By the end, you'll walk away with tools you can use the next time overwhelm starts creeping in. So you can calm your system, think clearly again, and take back control. I've lived with fibro for over 25 years, and overwhelm used to take me out for days at a time, sometimes weeks. So tell me in the comments, when does overwhelm hit you the hardest? So why does overwhelm hit us so hard? Before I understood what was happening inside my body, overwhelm would hit me like a tidal wave. Fibro pushes your nervous system into threat mode quicker. Our systems are already running on a high alert because of our pain and our fatigue. So when life piles on with noise, decisions to be made, and emotions, our system jumps into danger mode instantly. Stress hormones also amplify our pain. Adrenaline and cortisol tighten the muscles, speed up the heart, disturb our sleep, and that tension flares fibro pain immediately. Overwhelm pulls our mental health down too. And this is the part that nobody talks about enough. When stress hormones rise, your thinking becomes negative. You catastrophize. Your hope drops. Your ability to have a positive thought. Everything feels urgent. Everything feels heavy. You feel like you can't cope. It's not a character flaw, it's chemistry. The downward spiral becomes physical and emotional. Stress worsens pain, pain worsens stress, and your emotional state sinks with it. You get stuck in this vicious cycle of overwhelm, leading to mental spiral, leading to pain, leading to more overwhelm. But the good news is that you can interrupt this pattern. So firstly, let's look at what we're already doing, or what we first try. Most of us are used to living by the old pattern. Get everything done first and then rest. That worked before fibro, but with fibromyalgia, it backfires. Here's what most people do. Firstly, they push harder because there's no choice, is there? But push mode throws your nervous system into adrenaline mode and ramps up pain. Secondly, we try to fix everything, looking at the whole big task, the entire mountain, and that leads to instant overload. Then we fall into self-criticism. I should be able to cope. I'm too slow. I'm falling behind. Why can't I do this? I always could before. This intensifies your stress, which intensifies the pain. And fourth, we ignore the signs because old habits run deep. But the overwhelm cycle doesn't break through pushing or organizing. It breaks by calming the system that's overwhelmed first. So now let's look at how we do that step by step. I use a simple 3-part process that works in the real world, even on bad days. So the first step is interrupt the cycle and do it quickly within the first 60 seconds of you feeling the overwhelm. This stops the spiral instantly. So stop what you're doing straight away. Put your hand on your chest or your stomach. Take one slow breath and tell yourself, this is overwhelm, not danger. That phrase signals safety to the brain. Say it several times if you need to. You'll feel the change almost immediately. The next step is to soothe and reset your nervous system. Choose what your body needs today. If you feel hot and overstimulated, put your hands under cold water. It creates a state change and helps regulate your temperature. If you feel tense and frozen, warm water gives the body a soft exhale sensation. The warmth gives you a feeling of comfort. Another way you can soothe is through movement. Movement resets the adrenaline, it burns some of it off. So you can do things like loosening your shoulders, or slow neck stretches, or 3 to 5 gentle neck circles. You can walk slowly around a room indoors. The movement discharges that excess adrenaline and brings your brain back online and gets rid of that stuck feeling. And the last step of this 3-step process is to simplify, reduce the physical and the mental load. Here's where everything shifts. Make one decision, take one next step, and take one small action. Or choose to stop entirely for the day and regroup. When you simplify, the brain stops spiraling and finds clarity again. That's when you'll find space to get back to whatever was overwhelming you, with more energy and a calmer nervous system. So what does this look like in real life? So I used to be the kind of person who pushed through everything, especially deadlines. If something needed doing, I'd keep going until it was finished, no matter how I felt. And only then would I stop and crash. Let me know if that sounds familiar to you. Overwhelm consumed me almost all the time because I couldn't keep up. I remember feeling depressed, frustrated, angry, and out of control almost all the time. It all felt like too much. And it wasn't just me who suffered. It affected everything. My family suffered, my relationship suffered, my work suffered, my nutrition, my hydration, every part of my life was touched by my reaction to overwhelm. So what do I do now to stop that happening? Because I don't live like that anymore, thank goodness. So last weekend I had a big to-do list. I had to get Tuesday's video done. I had to record all of the Fibro Calm library meditations. I had to edit everything and keep up with the deadlines that I've set on myself, really. And keep up with my posting schedule. For a second, I felt that old rush of panic, the there's too much moment. But as soon as that happened, instead of pushing, I stopped. I took a breath, I grounded myself, and I used the phrase that always brings me back. Everything gets done. And it does. Then I used a classic time management question. What's the most important thing right now? And that was the video. So I prepared the video first and got everything ready to film. Then I stopped for the day, calmed myself again and relaxed. And the next day I filmed the video. Then I edited it and then uploaded it. And that was done. So that was one big task out of the way. Then I started recording the meditations. They're all numbered, so I took them one by one. And at no point did I stop to think to myself, oh my goodness, I've got 15 of these to do. I just did the next step. I took breaks, I ate properly, I had warm drinks, and I moved around in between. And then I came back for the next step. And everything got done without a crash. I also leaned on support, and this is something we forget to do in our overwhelm, or we're so stuck in it that it doesn't even occur to us to delegate or ask for support. I asked my husband for some help, and I asked him to listen through all the meditations once I recorded them to make sure that they were all okay. And that would save me a huge chunk of time and effort. And luckily for me, he happily listened to all 15 meditations in one day. And he did say the next day that he'd had a great night's sleep that night. So delegating, sharing the load, splitting tasks, all the normal strategies that disappear when you're overwhelmed, you have to invite them back. And sometimes that means asking for help, renegotiating deadlines and prioritizing, spreading tasks across days, and letting someone else take a piece of the load. And all of this breaks the cycle faster. And if you're wondering, didn't you crash afterwards? You must have been tired. To be totally transparent, I'm going to tell you what happened the day after, but later in the video. First, I'm going to go deeper into that stopping section, which I feel is sometimes the hardest step, and taking breaks during your tasks. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this. So that first stopping step is actually a reset window. Even 2 to 5 minutes stops the cascade of overwhelm before it becomes a flare. But here's the key most people miss. You must mentally leave tasks behind you. If you keep thinking about them, your body will stay in threat mode. So reset windows work when you stop and you let go and you breathe and you are fully present in the action you are taking when you are taking it, and not thinking about what's going to happen later or what happened before. When I wash my hands under warm or cold water, I let myself forget everything. When I have a little stretch, I'm in the stretch. When I walk to the kitchen, I'm just walking and I'm leaving everything else behind. And that's what creates the nervous system reset, because even when we're doing tasks, that overwhelm can slowly start to creep back in. Have you gone through that? And knowing how to deal with that will make you much more successful at preventing a flare. I had to learn this slowly, the hard way. So this is why I'm letting you know how to do this step by step and talking about all those little pitfalls that can hit us along the way. And if you want guided support for this, the Fibro Calm Library has meditations for exactly these moments. The link is below if you want to explore it. So now I'm going to take you through a list of quick wins, quick things that you can do that are really just different ways of using that interrupt, soothe and simplify 3-step process in everyday life, so you can grab them fast when you need them. Here are the tools that work immediately and why. First, the 2-minute break. 2 minutes of stillness lowers adrenaline enough for your thinking brain to come back online. Staring out of the window, closing your eyes, whatever feels right for you in that moment. Second, make one decision only. Choose the one next step you want to do, the one that's most important. Choosing the one next step you want to do stops the mental spiral of everything at once. Just put your attention on that one thing. Every time your brain starts to think about the next task, just bring it gently back to what you're doing now. Then there's light movement. Movement burns off excess adrenaline, so your nervous system can settle. So if you're thinking the things are beginning to bubble up again, you're feeling uncomfortable, get up, walk around, stretch. Just a little bit is enough to shift your state. Then you can take a lunch break. Eat something nourishing, a soup, a salad, or tea with a snack. Keeping your regular, familiar routine of eating helps balance your stress levels, and the food helps you to maintain your energy. I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes once I get stuck in a task, I can forget everything else. So just taking these little moments to stop, go and have a snack can help you maintain your energy levels. And the last quick win that you can try is let go of one to a few tasks. Even dropping one task relieves the pressure. If you can drop more, do it. But even the first one makes the biggest difference. So how do you do that? How do you drop tasks? Especially when they're ones that we want to do. They're important to us for ourselves or our family. Well, this is when we get to the one mindset shift that really freed me. The turning point for me was realizing this. Your worth isn't measured by how much you do. We've got the holidays coming up, so maybe we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to say, okay, we want to make it great for our families. We want to do a lot. At the very least, we want to put lots of decorations everywhere. And then you have a long list of decorations, lights, toys, trees, presents, all those things, and they mount up. But you can find ways of letting some of those things go. When I was going through my hardest time after I had my son, and he was a toddler, I used to let him decorate the tree. I'd get my husband to put it up and just let my toddler do whatever he wanted. And that was okay, because he was excited about it. And if the priority for me was making it fun for him, I'd achieved it. I didn't have to do it myself in order to make that happen. And I've talked more about the holidays in my holiday video, and I'll link that in the card at the top here. And if you click on that, YouTube will save that one to come up after this video for you. So remember, your worth isn't measured by how much you do. Overwhelm isn't a failure, it's your system asking for safety. And that's when self-talk becomes really powerful. I tell myself things like, It'll be okay. Everything gets done. Or when I'm feeling pressured, this is overwhelm, not danger. I can stop and regroup. And every single time, everything does get done. And it gets done without destroying your body. So what happened the day after I finished all those tasks at the beginning of the week? Well, I woke up and I was tired. I'd done more work over a few days than I had done in years. And so tiredness was understandable. Anyone would have been tired, fibro or not. But I had no pain, no brain fog, no debilitating fatigue. Just tiredness that told me it was okay to relax today. Everything was done. So I took the day off. I watched my favourite programmes, I relaxed, chatted with my husband, ate some nice food. I stopped and relaxed as a reward, which felt so much better than having to stop because of a crash which made me unable to function. Let's be real for a moment. You can't stop overwhelm from ever happening. Life will always throw things at us. But hopefully, with the steps that we've talked about in this video, you can stop the overwhelm cycle, which will flare you up. Once you know how to interrupt, once you can soothe your nervous system, once you simplify instead of pushing and allow support, your pain doesn't spiral, your brain doesn't shut down, and your energy returns much faster. Let me know in the comments if you try any of these strategies and how you got on with them. And if you found this video helpful today, subscribe for more fibro tools. I have new videos every week to help you feel steadier, calmer, and more in control of your day-to-day. So until next we meet, take care of yourself and be well.